Okay. Hi. We are live today. Sunny California. And did I brush my teeth? Sorry, I had breakfast earlier and I forgot to brush my teeth again. Apologize for that. It is a great day. What is today? Today is January 3rd, 2019. It's 12:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Southern California, and it is sunny outside. Chilly, but warm outside. But inside my house, it's freezing. So I have no heat. Electrical heater just blew out. Turn on the oven. It's like, okay, that's just not blew out the whole season square foot place. So I had to turn that off. That's I'm wearing a sweater. If you hear banging around or dogs barking, I have dogs. I have cat, one of the cats here. My son is walking around. I'm supposed to be taking the dogs out for a walk, and he just can't find anything to wear because he had so many growth spurts in the past few months that he can't fit any of his clothes. So clothes shopping we will go pretty soon, hopefully soon, because 13-year-olds, his voice has dropped. Have you guys noticed that when you turn 12 and 13, your voice gets deep? And then little girl, I have one of the kittens here, Natasha, who's about 6-7 months old now, crying up under me, which is different. She usually doesn't do that. So if you can hear me, I'm sorry, my voice will drop and I'll get kind of quiet. I'm gonna turn up the volume so you can hear me a little bit better. This is Pearl Diane coming to you to read a lovely story to you guys. I haven't done it in a couple of days, having a few difficulties and with my internet and with my laptop. So I ran a test with Dell and I definitely need a new battery fail. So it's kind of plugged in. Hopefully it'll stay. If the signal goes out, hopefully not. But let's get going. And I was doing my makeup before, I came online with you because I didn't want you to see how, let's put it this way, kids. If many of you have any type of atopic dermatitis or eczema, psoriasis, I have that too. Yeah, I know. And for my complexion, like for Caucasians, like complexion, it'll show flaky stuff, but then you don't really see like the bruises. Me, I have mixed, melanin skin or whatever they call it. I guess it's grammatically correct me. I don't know. But anyway, I get dark patches from it. So I have to put makeup on. Makeup gets expensive when you want the good stuff. I'm using the cheap stuff and I can't stand spending money on foundation stuff. But it's kind of fun. So I have an IT cosmetic bag. Don't own the rights to it. I'm just showing what I purchased. When did I get this for myself? It's a holiday package from IT Cosmetics. I think it was a year or two that I got this. What's this, 2018 now? 2019, or 2019, 2018. I think it's 2017 I got this. But I like it because it's sparkly. I like sparkly things. I'm a Pisces. I like things that sparkle. Sparkle. And the brushes. Yeah, it's cute. It has a little zipper pouch so I can put my other things in it because I like to go shopping and put things away. It's totally portable. I used to travel a lot. I'm going to pick up traveling again, God willing, this year and have some fun. And I might do a tutorial or something on makeup. So we'll see. It's kind of fun. Play with colors and things. I pull my hair to the side, guys. So it's my hair. It's just dirty. I have to shampoo it, get it ready for this weekend because I will be filming on Saturday at an unsafe location. So that's exciting. Yay, I auditioned and got a part. Yay, I'm happy. I'm happy when I get to work and do something, or be creative and do something. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to read Hot Fudge. And this is a live stream, and I will talk about almost anything and everything that is ethically and morally correct. Again, we spoke on the other, I think, what did we talk about? I was reading Blue Moose. I think we were reading Blue Moose to you guys, and Sarah Noble were the last two books. I think it was The Magic Well, The Courage of Sarah Noble, and reaching for the books. Blue Moose. Okay. So within that, we learned how to, talk. We talked about having courage, and also with the Blue Moose, how sometimes you can't always judge how people look. Same thing with Sarah Noble. You can't judge people for how they look. on the exterior. You can only judge them by their character and their integrity, how people are on the inside. And it's always good to be a good person to everyone. Be kind and polite to others. I mean, that goes a long way. It says a lot about you. So let's keep that in mind. And we're going to read about hot fudge. Just the name makes me hungry. Okay, I like sweets. I love hot chocolate, hot fudge. So in this book, let me show you again. The illustration is by Leslie Morrill. And no, I do not own the rights to these stories. Again, as always, I like to read. I've always had books since I was a little girl, and I shared them with my sons. And it's my pleasure to share them with you as well. Okay. So if you'd like to hear more stories and me rambling about a whole bunch of different things, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up for likes, thumbs down if you kind of don't like it, that's fine. But thumbs ups, and give me some suggestions of what you might like, or you want to hear different things, you want background music. I might play, I might add some background music. We'll get there. Right now I'm going live, and I have to be mindful of everything that I do, so that way I can continue doing live, because I'm not into the editing portion yet. But my son Jacob should be doing that soon, because he is really good at it. So hopefully when he gets in high school next year, he's going to be taking a course at one of the local high schools that lets him be creative with his laptop, because he's really good, and he's a gamer like me. Yes, I game. I like Fortnite. Well, no, he plays Fortnite more. But I like Ghost Recon. I like games with strategy. If my Xbox came up like how PlayStation has the shooter game where you have the gun, and you just the little infrared lighting on it, so you don't have to be with a controller type thing. Like games with guns, you get a controller. It's like, I'm more of a like arcade game where you go with the actual arcade, you pick up the little red or blue gun, and you can aim at your target, and you'll, and then it's all done. Get the zombies. That's what I want to do. Xbox, please come out with something like that so I can play. Even the virtual reality, I want to be able to do that, because that was fun. And I'm not so much of a PlayStation person yet, but when I played it on my friend's console, that was fun. Really fun. Really. Okay. Sorry, kids. Let's get into Hot Fudge. Again, it's by James Howe, illustrated by Leslie Morrill, and it's going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to read the first couple of pages before I get started with the actual story, and I will stop and show the pictures in between. We have two Marilyn and Neil, Rachel and Shira, and chocolate lovers everywhere. Yes, like me. Okay, and note to the reader. The story you are about to read is told by a dog. But Harold is no ordinary dog. He has written other books about his family, the Monroes, and about his friends, Chester, a cat, Howie, a Dachshund puppy, and Bunicula, a most unusual rabbit. Bunicula. Okay, it says Bunicula. So I'm thinking Bunny, Dracula. Okay, so when Harold sent this story to me, he enclosed a note that read, "It is no secret that I love chocolate. So does Toby, one of the Monroe's two sons. One day, Toby had a surprise for me, and I just knew it had something to do with our favorite food. What I didn't know was that Toby's surprise wasn't the only one that the day held in store." Excuse me. Let me turn off my little phone here so we're not get to any interruptions. As far as like the sound notifications, I apologize. Let me just mute that a little bit. Okay. Back to the letter. I admit my mouth was watering as I sat down to read Harold's latest adventure. Luckily, I always keep a little something too much on while I read. You might want to too. But if what you're munching on is fudge, keep your eye on it. It just might disappear. By the editor. And this is what it says here. Oh, can you see that? Okay. So sidebar note, guys, as I read, like I said, I'm going to stop and show some pictures in between. And I might make a side note of my own regarding the story, because I find it humorous myself. And I do have, I know folks are going to, this is from my, what is this thing? Ninja Blender. I can't remember what it is. losing my mind. But I have ice in it with orange and lemon. And I have my 2 straws, remind me of orange and lemon. Now on the screen, it's a bright orange and a green. But to me, it's darker. So maybe it's the color setting. I don't know. And yes, I have a spoon because I'm digging out the ice and water because I'm thirsty all the time. So in between, you might see me do that. And I know some of you guys might say, oh, let's get up. Well, you know what? I'm at home. And I'm going to enjoy having my ice and my water and stuff, okay? With chai seeds in it. So I can slim down some more. And look cute in that little white dress I'm going to wear in March before my birthday. Or after my birthday. Because, February, March. We have an event coming up. Shoot, anyway. I'll get back to that later. It's back to the story, okay? So hot fudge. Here we go, kids. Sorry about that. Parents, please don't mind me as we're going through this. So again, this is live, and I'm going to just be reading and being myself. I am going to have fun with this, as I did do with my kids. Oh, wow, there's a lot of cool pictures in here. I haven't read this book in a while, so this is going to be very interesting. Okay, here we go. Let's start with the first picture. Again, if you're just joining, we're about to read Hot Fudge by James Howe, illustration by Leslie Morrill. Okay, here we go. Friday nights are special at our house. Toby gets to stay up and read at late as he wants. He lets me lie on his bed with him and share his chocolate treats. Toby and I love chocolate. I lick his fingers all over so he won't get sticky. Brown smudges on the pages of his books. That's Toby. Excuse me. They frown on sticky brown smudges down at the library. When Toby gets tired, he brushes his teeth, turns out the light, and says, "Good night, Harold." That's Harold. That's Toby. And then we fall asleep, full of good stories and good chocolate. One Friday night, Toby whispered in the dark, "Wait until tomorrow, Harold." Yum, yum, just wait. If I didn't love sleeping almost as much as eating, I would never have slept that night. Yum, yum, just wait. What did Toby mean? Dun, 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 dun. When I woke the next morning, my nose figured out the answer even before my brain remembered the question. Let's look at the pictures again. Get your imagination going. That looks so fun. Okay, now I need some hot fudge. I think I have some in the refrigerator. My mommy. I know, I said my mommy. My mom lives on the front of the house and she cooks for us. Yes, I have a living chef. As long as her pantry is full, she is happy, content, and cooking all the time. So I don't have to. I can, but why bother when your mom's up front and she cooks for me? So spoiled. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Fudge. Mr. Monroe was making his famous fudge. "Chester!" I cried as I skidded across the kitchen floor. Chester looked up calmly from his food dish. "How can you eat that stuff when there's fudge in the air?" I asked. "Because," said Chester, "the fudge is in the air and not in my bowl, and I'm hungry." He had a point. There's Harold and there's Chester. Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay. Sorry, guys. Hit the mouse. Okay. There's some more pictures here. After wolfing down my breakfast, I joined Howie to beg at Mr. Monroe's side. "Have you no shame?" Chester asked. He says that sort of thing whenever Howie and I beg and whimper. And there's Howie. There's Howie, the dachshund. So we have Harold and Howie. And Chester. Okay. We're dogs, I told him. Begging is one of the things dogs do best. Besides, don't tell me there's anything more dignified about rubbing up against people's legs and leaving little hairs all over their pants. Wait, my cats do that too. Chester stuck his nose in the air and walked away. I turned my attention back to more important matters. Nice try, fellas, Mr. Monroe said as we whimpered. But this fudge isn't for you. Not for us, but Toby said. Just then, the kitchen door flew open and the rest of the Monroe family rushed in. That fudge sure smells good, Toby cried. Can I lick the spoon? After breakfast, said Mrs. Monroe. If there's time, I just discovered the station wagon has a flat tire. We'll have to use one car. But I've got to get to practice now, Pete whined. There's Pete. And there's Toby, Mrs. Monroe, and Mr. Monroe. And Harold. Dear, Mrs. Monroe said to her husband, I'll drop you and Toby off first, then Pete, and I will go on to the field. All right? Mrs. Monroe was Pete's weekend soccer coach. Fine, said Mr. Monroe. I just need a little more time for this second batch of fudge to cool. But Mom, Pete whined again. 10 minutes? Mrs. Monroe asked. Mr. Monroe nodded. 10 minutes, said Mrs. Monroe. Everybody started running in and out of the kitchen and up and down the stairs, shouting, banging things, and slamming doors. It was a typical Saturday morning. Is your house like that too? And then, goodbye, Harold. Goodbye, Chester. Goodbye, Howie. Goodbye, Bonicula. The door stopped banging. The house grew quiet, and Howie and I suddenly found ourselves alone in the kitchen. Can you guys relate to this story? With the family rushing out of the house? Alone with a plate of fudge. This isn't fair, Uncle Harold, Howie complained. Do you think they're testing us? Are they testing us? Oh, that smell. It was enough to make your taste buds weep. Yes, I said, and we're about to flunk. Let's get out of here. Who has pets that like to do that in the kitchen? Actually, do you guys do that in the kitchen? Smell something and you're not supposed to touch it? So tempting. Chester had wandered off to the living room, where we found him reading the newspaper in his favorite chair. I had a cat that did that. Anything interesting in the fudge? I asked. I meant to say paper. Harold, Chester said, you have chocolate on the brain. You can't spend the day like this. I have an idea, said Howie. Let's play a game. How about rip the rag or bury the bone? Yipes, Chester exclaimed. I don't know that one, I said. How do you play it? It isn't a game, Chester said. I just read in the paper that there have been a number of robberies recently during the day in this neighborhood. Sidebar, I had a cat named Cosmo, a black long-haired cat. Beautiful baby with bright green eyes. Kind of like this lampshade. Beautiful green. He used to read the newspaper too. Or actually, I should say the science encyclopedia that I gave to my son. So needless to say, I thought I had a weird cat from space. Okay. Oh, what is she doing? What are they up to next? We're going to have to guard the house, Harold. That's what pets are for. I know. You're going to say pets are for loving and snuggling and rolling around with on the floor, but let's face it, we're really just a cheap burglar alarm system. I'd rather snuggle, I muttered, as Howie began to yelp. But I knew it was useless to argue with Chester once he has made up his mind about something. That's the end of it. Chester the cat is smart. So Howie guarded the front door, and Chester surveyed the neighborhood from the window at the top of the stairs. Sorry for the noise. And I positioned myself at the kitchen door near the fudge. Now I don't know how long it's been since you protected your house against robbers, but if it's been a while, let me remind you that it isn't all it's cracked up to be. The truth is that it gets boring fast. It wasn't long before I was sound asleep. Ooh, that Howie. I was having the most wonderful dream when a loud bang woke me. Chester! I cried. Look at this dream. Oh, man. I could go for a cupcake now. Oh, the diet. Chester raced into the kitchen. I heard it, he said. Howie straggled in. Heard what? He asked with a yawn. I couldn't help myself. I yawned too. Okay, sorry, guys. It's catchy. Don't tell me you two have been sleeping, Chester said. Okay, we won't tell you, said Howie. Look at that face. Chester shook his head. They should call them dog naps, not cat naps, he said. Don't you realize what happened? There's been a robbery. Look, the pan of fudge is missing from the counter. Missing? I said. Stolen, said Chester. Stolen? Howie cried in amazement. You mean it's hot fudge? The thief can't be far away, Chester said. Come on, you two. Put those doggy snivers to use. We were almost out the pet door when I looked up and spotted a pan sitting in the windowsill. Wait, I said. The fudge hasn't been stolen. It's just been moved. Who would move it? Chester asked. He gave me a funny look. Harold, he said, shame on you. I didn't touch it. I was dreaming about it, I admit, but you can reach it, Uncle Harold, said Howie. See if it's been touched. I put my front paws on the sill, raised myself up to put my full height, and peered over the top of the pan. I could hardly believe my eyes. Dun, dun, dun. Always wanted to do that. It turned white, I said. White? Chester gasped. Well, I guess we know who the culprit is, don't we? And he dashed through the door into the living room. Howie and I followed after him. Don't own rights to the dun dun dun. Bunnicula was sleeping soundly in his cage. Don't be fooled, Chester whispered. He's pretending to be asleep. Chester believes that our little bunny is a vampire. Up until now, Bunnicula had only sucked the juices out of vegetables, turning them white. But as Chester pointed out, there was no reason he might not turn fudge white as well. Maybe he has a sweet fang, he suggested. What's wrong with that? Howie said. At least the fudge wasn't stolen. But what about that bang we heard? I asked. Before anyone could answer, another loud bang, sounded from the kitchen. Sorry, I'm knocking stuff over. This time, the fudge was gone. Really gone. Oh, excuse me, guys. Something in my eye. Oh, gosh. The three of us pushed and shoved our way out of the pet door. No sooner were we outside than we spotted the thief in the distance, running away. Running through the pet door. Stop, thief! Chester shouted. Howie barked excitedly. He's got the fudge! What kind of lowlife would steal candy? He yipped out warnings into the neighborhood. Guard your gumdrops. Lock your licorice. We were closing in on him. We had him. The chocolate thief had fallen. We had captured. Oh. Who did they capture? Uh-oh. Toby! What's the matter with you guys? He said, getting up. Are you nuts? He noticed the way I was staring and started to laugh. Just nuts about fudge, huh, Harold? Couldn't let it out of your sight, could you? Well, if you think Dad's fudge is something, just follow me. Uh-oh. Friends of the Library Bake Sale. Ooh, I love bake sales. How about you guys? Can you see the picture? I could hardly believe my eyes. This was the nearest thing to heaven I'd ever seen. We were in such a rush to leave this morning, we forgot to take the 2 pans of fudge Dad made, Toby explained. Then when I ran home to get them, I forgot about the one made with white chocolate because it was up on the windowsill. I was all the way back down the block before I remembered and had to run back. Toby gave me a little taste of the white fudge. It was okay. But if you want my expert opinion, if it isn't brown, it isn't chocolate. Gee, Toby went on, to think you were in the house all that time with all that chocolate and you never even touched it? That deserves a reward. Make mine catnip, Chester said. Each to his own taste, but I knew that Toby I knew what Toby had in mind. There we go. We're back at home. Sweet dreams. See, I love looking at the pictures. Look how cool that is. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Eyelash is really getting me. Right in my eye. Try not to get it on my book. And is that it? Is it Sweet Dreams? Oh, that's it. I'm so sorry, guys. I literally have something in my eye and I can't get it out. But that's another story. That is so fun. That was exciting. They had a little adventure, mystery, intrigue, and these pets are really funny. So here's okay, at the very back of this book, hopefully your parents can Google it or look on Amazon for it. There is, can we see that? I'm trying to get so you can see a recipe. Mr. Monroe's famous fudge. If you and a grown-up would like to make Mr. Monroe's famous fudge, I'll turn this way to you. Together, here's the recipe. Do not use the stove or handle sharp knives by yourself. Okay, so again, I'll read it again. Do not use the stove or handle sharp knives by yourself. No. This fudge will taste good whether it's made by 2 hands or 4. And don't forget to let hot fudge get cool before eating it. Ingredients. 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate in squares or liquid packets. 1/3 cup of light corn syrup. 1/3 cup of light corn syrup. 1/2 cup of milk. 2 cups of sugar. 2 tablespoons of butter. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Chopped walnuts to taste. Put the chocolate, corn syrup, milk, and sugar in a deep saucepan and cook over low heat. Stir constantly, until everything is dissolved completely. Turn the heat up slightly and boil slowly until the chocolate forms a soft ball in cold water. Natasha. This part can be tricky. Drop a little bit of the chocolate into a cup of cold water with a spoon. Wait a few seconds. Then try to form the chocolate into a soft, slightly squishy ball that rolls gently between your fingers. My eyes are going, oh my gosh. If it falls apart, it's too liquidy. So boil it a little longer. You may need to repeat this test frequently until the chocolate is the right consistency. Remove the saucepan from the heat, stir in the butter and vanilla, let the mixture cool for 10 to 15 minutes. And then beat it with a large spoon, a strong arm, and patience. Beating, by the way, isn't the same as stirring. Beating means to stir vigorously, like you mean it, like this. If I can do it without dropping the book. Good night. You have it in a bowl and, like the dance. Okay. A little corny, but you get the idea. Better yet, why not hand the pan over to the grown-up who is cooking with you? The fudge has been beaten long enough when you can feel it thickening and the surface loses some of its shine and begins to look a little dull. Stir in the nuts. Pour the fudge into a lightly greased pie plate or pan. Let the mixture sit until it's cooled completely. Have the grown-up cut the fudge into pieces with a sharp, moist knife. Moist means you have to get the knife a little wet, I guess, with water or maybe some oil, butter on it. Pour yourself some milk and dig in. Note, Harold is an unusual dog in many ways. He reads, he writes. Did I go cross-eyed? Sorry. And he loves chocolate. But chocolate is not a good food for most dogs. In fact, it makes them sick. Share your fudge with people only and give your dog another kind of treat, one that's just right for him or her, okay? So remember, chocolate is good for humans, but not for dogs. And we don't want the doggies to be sick, okay? Same thing for cats and bunny rabbits that are vampires. All right, I hope you enjoyed. That was fun. And yes, I'm kind of kooky or cookie, crackpot. I don't know. My kids call me weird. No, they don't say weird. I call myself weird. Huh. Goofy? I call myself goofy. I like to have fun. So I like to liven things up with my boys when I read. So if you like the story, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear some more stories. Either way, I'm still going to do some intermittently. But yeah, that was fun. Hot fudge. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget, Amazon or Google. I got this for 95 cents. Oh, I forgot where I bought this from. Oh, there's the bunny. He's on the back. All right. That reminds me. There's a story on TV. I think my mom was watching Watership Down. I think it was a newer version of it. I haven't seen it yet, but she did. I don't know if it's on Netflix or one of the channels. You have to do a search. If you have cable, internet, but yeah, cable, DirecTV, one of those things, go into your search field for movies and type in Watership Down. And if you can find that, if not, Google it, and then you can maybe find a way if your parents can let you rent the movie if it's not already available, or get it on DVD. It's a great, really good storyline about the bunny rabbits. Oh, and there's also one, Nim, about the rats. That's really good. Kind of creepy, scary, but still a good story. Okay. And I have another story over here down the road. Let me grab it real quick. I have actually a few more. Bear with me. Look out, kitty cat. I'm sorry, girl. She's taking a nap next to me. It's very unusual for this kitty to be up under me. The Tale of Three Trees is coming up. Monty, cat of Ave Maria. Ooh. And then down the road is another story that I would like to read as well. Okay. So we have Monty, cat of Ave Maria by Patricia Sete. or set. And then we have The Tale of Three Trees, a traditional folk tale retold by Angela Ewell Hunt. Illustrations by Tim Jonk. Oh, I'm sorry, illustrated by Tom Cardamone for Monty. Oh, on the backside you can see the writer and her kitty. I need to do stories too because I have a lot of stories about the cats and pets I've had. And some of them aren't really pets or foster babies that came as kittens, and I didn't have the heart to leave them out in the cold. Try to help them look after them. Okay, so yeah, this one is, I'm sorry, big sidebar. Oh, Alice Shirtle, illustrated by E.B. Lewis, Down the Road. Okay, so these are 3 books that I will be reading shortly. And let's see. And then I'll go back to the Once Upon a Christmas that has some more stories in that I promised to read from that as well. Okay, so again, this is Happy New Year, Happy 2019 for you guys. And again, I'm hoping you're enjoying. I'm going to try and get a little bit more creative and fun with the story so that way you guys enjoy it. And again, don't forget to subscribe. I guess there's a button down there. Hit like, and don't forget to share. I hope you guys do like the stories. This is live. I'm not editing anything. I probably should edit, but we'll see how that works out because I'm not going to do the editing. My son is. All right. Thank you guys. And maybe I'll have a cool intro too for you guys to enjoy. All right. Take care. Bye. Don't forget, Hot Fudge is not for dogs and cats. It's for humans only.